Good afternoon and welcome to my Facebook Live, my second Facebook Live of the year 2023. My name is jeantheblessed. It's good to be here. We are so blessed. We call ourselves the Blessed Family because indeed we are blessed. And welcome to you. Today is Tuesday the 10th, right? Tuesday the 10th of January 2023, and it's my second live of the year, okay? And I'm so excited to be here, and I hope you guys are here. As you know, these days, and as you know me, I work with time. If I say I'm going to be available at this time, I'm definitely going to be available of that time unless something happens. And I would like to apologize to those that are not comfortable with me speaking in English, but due to demand, I have to speak in English for other nationalities to hear what I'll be saying. And today we are going to be talking about caregivers, okay? Due to yesterday's questions and stuff, and then tomorrow, we will do island, okay? But maybe today I'm going to touch a little bit of island, but definitely tomorrow we are going to be doing island full time, okay? So today we will be talking about caregivers. But before I go further, this is my Facebook page, jeantheblessed. I have a subscription page. Everyone that you see, they've got a green badge. They are in my subscription page. Subscription page is a page that has been created by Facebook for content creators, for their community to support them. So if you are on subscription page, thank you so much for supporting me. We do live videos every Saturday, okay? So this year, due to ghosts and all these crazy people, we are doing live videos on Saturday, okay, where I'll be answering you, where I'll be giving you all the resources, okay? So Saturday is going to be our resource day, and Saturday is going to be the day that we communicate and discuss everything that I would have done on my live video. And like I said, this year we are working differently, so you need to follow up with me so that you don't miss out, okay? And then so today we are talking about caregivers, okay? So there is a lot of things that are happening with caregivers, a lot of challenges with caregivers in Africa. And, here we do things the correct way. We do things the correct way that benefits you, okay? There is no shortcut. It's either you know or you don't. It's either you have the requirements or you don't, okay? And that's one thing why I need everyone to follow up with me. If you don't follow up with me, you end up requiring a one-on-one. You end up requiring more time and asking a lot of questions because you miss out. I know the time that I do live videos might clash with other people that are at work. I do understand that, but just make sure that every day you watch the video. I do live videos Monday to Friday during the week. On weekends, I'm off Facebook. I take time to rest. Just like when I'm on holiday, I do rest, okay? Yeah, we thank God so much. We do have people that are still moving to UK, and we are grateful for that. But like I said yesterday, I got inside information that UK is going to be closing. When exactly, I don't know, but sometime this year. So I just want to put it out there for those that are doing caregivers course and everything. Please analyze your risk, okay? In everything that you do, you need to analyze your risk. You are investing money in studying these courses. You're investing money in learning this English. It's a lot of money. Like, for example, ILETS for UK, it's 5,000 rands. You need 5,000 rands. You don't want to end up doing the ILETS for UK and then you are stuck with it, and then you've done the course, you've done the practicals, and you are stuck. You cannot go anywhere. So please analyze your risk. As much as I give you information, do your own research as well, okay? So due to questions that came yesterday, that's why I'm talking about this. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask me questions at the end of this live video, okay? Every day I give everyone an opportunity to ask me questions, and I try to answer questions. Like I always say, some questions I can answer, but I cannot answer all questions, okay? Why? There are some things I cannot talk about here. That's why we do one-on-ones, okay? Because there are some things I can never address you, okay? There are some ways I can help you with, but I cannot disclose it or say it publicly for different reasons, which I'll not explain to anyone. But if you're an adult person, you should understand my language. There are things or other ways that we can help each other, but I cannot disclose it publicly, okay? Because this is a public video. So that's why we do one-on-ones. And if you want a one-on-one, you book via my Facebook Messenger with my admin team. My PA is there, and I saw a lot of people have started booking already yesterday. So we are already on next week. I think almost half of next week is getting fully booked already. If not fully booked, I don't know by now. I haven't checked my diary. I only see my diary at the end of the day when my PA is done. So yeah, that's what we do. It benefits you a lot. It's for your own good. You can ask anyone. And today I just wanna pass my condolences. There is a brother and his wife that came to my one-on-one last year, and the wife contacted me today that the husband passed away. I'm so hurt, I'm so heartbroken, and I just want to say to the Mugarino family, my condolences to you. May God comfort the wife, may God comfort the children. My brother was an amazing person. I spoke to him last year. He was okay, and unfortunately he passed away, and I'm still talking to the wife, but it's so disturbing. Like you had a one-on-one with someone last year, and then you hear he's gone. It's so disturbing. And I just want to encourage you guys to pray. Commit your plans before the Lord. Please pray for life. When we did our prayer and fasting last year, unfortunately, that's when he started being sick. So he did not participate in our prayer and fasting. We prayed for divine life. We prayed for divine health. So I'm encouraging you again, my family. You need to pray for your life. You need to pray for health in 2023 so that God may protect you. So I'm passing my condolences publicly. They were on my subscription page, and they came to the one-on-one. You know, when you came to the one-on-one, you end up having my number. We were communicating. He used to send me stuff, like motivational stuff, you know. So he was an amazing husband and a father, and he was a truck driver, and he just died, sudden death. My condolences to the family. I'll say this publicly. I'm so heartbroken with that. Now moving to caregivers. So the one thing that I realized, okay, so first of all, let's discuss the requirements. I'll start with the UK, okay, because I know for sure what are the requirements that are needed in UK. So with the UK, beginning of last year, when many people, or before that, 2021, October, November, December, up to 2022 last year, okay, up to July, August, September, okay, things were still good. It wasn't difficult. They didn't have much requirements, okay? I know some people that even went to UK without even experience. I know some people that went to UK, they were taking people, okay? And then I think maybe it flooded, and the agents, most of the agents in UK didn't have hours to give to people, and they started changing their requirements, and the Home Office, I do have emails from the British consulate. The Home Office also changed due to the issues that were happening in UK, due to scammers and people that were stealing money from caregivers in Africa, okay? And there were reports that were made, you know, for example, in Zimbabwe, we had so many scandals that took place between agents and caregivers in Africa. And due to that, some people were left without accommodation. They were brought from Africa, Zimbabwe, all over into UK, and they did not have accommodation upon arriving in UK. Some sponsors, because they enjoyed taking money from caregivers in Africa, what they'll call it, what do they call it, agents fees or whatever names they were calling the monies for. They were greedy, so they took money from a lot of people. They issued the COS, but they didn't have hours for people to work when they arrived in UK. And due to that, some caregivers from Africa ended up staying on the streets, ended up not having accommodation, ended up not having work, okay? And this year, end of last year also, I also experienced it with one of the sponsors that was taking people. People stayed in UK for almost a month without work. but you paid the sponsor 60,000 rands. That's the sponsor we're using here. But some of my people also were stuck for a month without work. We had to pray and fast for them to get work, and we thank God by December they started working. But after staying for so long, after arriving in the UK, you leave your job here, you arrive in the UK with a child. Because remember, the one advantage or the good thing about the care visa, you could travel with your children. So some of the single mothers went to the UK under 18 children. They traveled with their children because the British embassy will give you visas. And they arrived in UK and the sponsor said, unfortunately, I don't have work now. And they were staying for a month. Imagine the stress. You left work in Africa. You are not earning any money. You are in UK and you are stuck. You've got no income. You've got a child that needs to eat. You need to look. And some of the children were staying with friends and relatives. This is the reason why the British consulate ended up, according to the email that I have, that's one of the reasons they now require anyone that is coming to the UK with a COS to have a proof of funds. So some are getting COS without proof of funds, but now everyone is asking for proof of funds, which means you need to have a bank statement with equivalent with 1,270 pounds. Okay, why? It's because of these sponsors that were taking people and could not provide accommodation with them. So the consulate realized that the only way we can make sure or guarantee that when the people arrive in the UK they've got accommodation is by making sure that before they leave Africa, they show us their bank accounts, they have money. 1,270 pounds is enough to last you a month, cheap accommodation, affordable accommodation. In the event that you are stuck, you can still take care of yourself. So that's another requirement that came end of the year. They don't need the money, but they need to see the proof in your bank account. So around last year, December, the last visas we did, 1,270 was about 26,000 rands, pounds. You needed to have that 1,270 in your bank account. If you are someone in Zimbabwe, you needed to have that in US dollars, okay? Without that, you can't get a visa, okay? For caregivers. The genuine way. I don't know the feja way. I'm telling you the genuine way via the British consulate in Zimbabwe and in South Africa. You need to have that money in your bank account. Whether the sponsor is sponsoring everything for you, full sponsorship, they are also asking for that now. Okay, so that's another big change that came with applying for visa in the UK. So I'll start with the UK and I'll tell you what I currently know now from the Irish government. Yesterday I communicated with I'll tell you now. Just hold on for me. Yesterday I communicated, I got response. They responded to me very quickly from the Irish Department of Trade. Just hold on. I spoke to Carl, okay? Carl from Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment. He responded to me. You can see this email. Okay. You can see this email. Okay. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but this is Carl from the Department of Irish Government. You can see the signature. That's Irish Government. Okay, so he referred me to Immigration Service, Irish Immigration Service, and he also referred me to Enterprise Employment Permits. He gave me their contact details. So I'm still waiting for responses from the two entities or government entities in Ireland, okay? And that's why I'm hoping tonight they will reply me because they respond very quickly. Maybe it's just the time difference. I'm not so sure. So that I have clear requirements. So all I'm asking them is for them to give me their requirements for caregivers in Ireland, because I'm still waiting, you know, for that announcement. It's not coming. So what do? We researchers, we go to them, the Department of Labor, the Immigration Department, and they refer you to the specific department, and you can speak to them. I've got their contact numbers. So if they don't reply to my emails, definitely I'll be calling them, okay? Whether I'm gonna call them during the day or whatever, then I'll call them. But for the UK, for the immigration, I'm going to be telling you the requirements so that you understand. Okay, so Personally, for me, I do have caregivers in Zimbabwe. For caregivers in Zimbabwe, for me, if you are not lazy to apply, I feel like it's easier for you because Zimbabwe is your country. I'm giving an example. I'm starting with Zimbabwe because I'm Zimbabwean. So for those in Zambia, Nigeria, Kenya, Botswana, it's easier for you to do your care course in Botswana, in Zimbabwe, in your own country. Why? You are there, okay? So that's advantage number one. You can do your course online, but your practicals you do with the hospitals of your country, okay? Why? You are there, you are a citizen of that country, and your reference, your work experience, your address is there in that country. So for example, if you're in Zimbabwe, you can do your practicals there. Make sure that where you are doing your practicals, they do have. So before you start practicals, make sure they do have, you do have, so I think this is a very urgent call. Excuse me for that. Just so long, guys, I just want to speak to my husband 1 minute. Baby, I'm on a live.
All right, Paripo.
You are not at the... Okay. I can see you are resting. I'll talk to you as soon as I'm done. I think after 5, I'll call you back.
Okay, bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.
You too.
Right. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So it's your advantage to do your care course in Zimbabwe. Okay, I'll tell you the advantage of doing your care course in Zimbabwe. The advantages of doing your care course in Zimbabwe is, number one, when you're applying for a visa, the British Embassy in Zimbabwe, it's easier for you. Number two, you'll be using your address in Zimbabwe, your ID in Zimbabwe, your passport, your address in Zimbabwe. It's very easier for you. Number three, the only disadvantage that I know in Zimbabwe is the prices of doing courses like Red Cross, all the care courses is very expensive. It's very, very expensive to study in Zimbabwe, to do practicals in Zimbabwe. But my emphasis was, when you are doing your practicals in Zimbabwe, make sure that, or in Botswana or Kenya, make sure that wherever you are doing your practicals, okay, they do have a work email. When I say work email, for example, Botswana, it will be whatever .bw or bc or whatever. Here in South Africa it's .co.za. In Zimbabwe it's .co.zw. Okay, make sure you do have those work emails. Why? A lot of caregivers that left Africa to go to Europe last year, most of their emails were Gmails, okay? And some of them faked, okay? They faked the experience. And the other thing is, our equipment here in Africa and the things we are expected to know upon landing in Europe is sometimes completely different. Because remember, those are developed countries. Here in Africa, we are still a little bit behind in terms of equipment, moving beds and stuff. But from the experience I'm hearing from the people that have left from this page, they say, Sisi Jean, caregiver in Europe is actually not bad like what people are saying. It's just a lot of hours for you to make more money, but it's not as bad as what people say. But I don't know why they say they were not happy with the experiences. So that's another challenge that happened around October, November. They were rejecting people with the CVs with the Gmail. So I just want you to know, I know you'll be desperate to gain work experience, but I want you to make sure and put an emphasis and find out the home that you are doing your practicals. Don't do your practicals with an individual or a private home. Make sure you do your practicals with Red Cross, hospitals, institutions that are formally registered, that have got work emails, so that when they give you a reference, their contact reference number there has got a work reference number. Please stay away from Gmail. You may not understand this, but I'll give you an example. I've got people that applied, okay, with the Gmails, and the people that applied with work emails. The people with work emails were considered compared to people with Gmails. I'm not telling you this. I know majority of you have got experience with the Gmails, but whether you like it, whether you are going to take my advice or not, it's going to be a disadvantage for you. You can apply and apply. You are the one that will be disadvantaged compared to people that take advice and do what I'm telling you to do. So even in Zimbabwe, Botswana, Nigeria, Kenya, because I'm helping people from those countries, make sure your references on your CV, you've got work emails, .co.ke, .co.bw, .co.za, .co.za.com, .org. Those email address is what they are considering. They are considering anyone with a Gmail. I can give you reference. I can be your reference, all of you, so you understand why they don't want Gmails and Yahoo and what. Anyone can fake reference with that. So that's the reason why. Okay, so number one, what do you require as a caregiver for UK until they close, until they give the announcement that they are done? Now they are in winter. I don't think they are going to close because there is high demand. I was watching the news yesterday. Liverpool, hospitals in Liverpool are full. Doctors are burning out, doctors are retiring. I've got family in UK that work in the hospital. Like right now, they can't breathe with work. It's back to back, which means there is a lot of work because it's winter. People are getting sick. But for caregivers, that means also a lot of people will be discharged home. There should be a lot of work. So I don't think they are going to close taking caregivers. And as you know, my family, COVID is back. Yeah, for those that don't know, COVID is back. Here in South Africa, we have got the latest variant, which is more transmittable than anything else. So when COVID is back, caregivers, you should be excited. Yeah, it's not a good thing, but caregivers, it's an opportunity for you. It's an opportunity for you to say that you are guaranteed to relocate to Europe. You are guaranteed many countries are going to open up. So when you see COVID coming up and these quickly transmittable diseases, it's an advantage for caregivers because that means a lot of people are dying. It's not good that people are dying, but for people that are in desperate need, like people in Africa who really wants to work, that's opportunity for work. Hospitals are losing nurses, hospitals are losing, with COVID, a lot of front line employees or staff members, they are affected with COVID. We don't rejoice over it, but it's a reality on the ground, which means there are opportunities for caregivers. So if you haven't started, well, you might want to think about it. Don't say I told you, it's your decision, but you might want to consider. I can tell you for now, I know for sure New Zealand is opening up for caregivers officially. When we have been waiting, I told you New Zealand, Ireland, Canada, I told you last year in October they were opening up, and Ireland only opened up on the 30th of November, but still we are waiting for them to give us their requirements. Right now we just know a few of what is required, and from speaking with agencies and care homes and care institutions in Ireland, they are telling us their requirements, which I'm going to be sharing with you. And I feel like people that wants to go to Ireland, you need to look out for that. That's the live video we are going to be doing tomorrow. So right now for UK, make sure your CV, your reference, that's number one. Number two, make sure you do have that money for bank statement, okay? So when you are applying, my family, this is what you need to say. Tell them, I do have enough money to pay to prove to Home Office that I've got. Or even when you are applying, when you attach your documents, this is what I teach people. Maybe that's why people that come to my one-on-one, they are taken, because I teach them how to apply, how to attach their documents and everything. So you can even attach proof of your bank statement. This is another disadvantage. This is where I'm going. This is another disadvantage with the people that are residing in foreign countries. I'm not going to go mention names. So this is an disadvantage with people that are living in Africa but in foreign countries without legal stay in those foreign countries. Okay, I'll give an example. You are a Nigerian living in Zimbabwe and you did your care course in Zimbabwe, okay, but you don't have paperwork to stay in Zimbabwe. So this is where your challenge is. You did your course in Zimbabwe, your experience in Zimbabwe, your practicals in Zimbabwe, bank statement you do not not have. Why? Because you do not have a valid papers in Zimbabwe. There are some banks that cannot give you a 6 months bank statement. I'll give you an example. There is a bank called Mukuru. I see people struggling with it. It will never be able to give you a 6 months detailed bank statement. So they need 3-6 months. Most of them, they require a 6-month bank statement when they submit for your COS at Home Office and when they submit for your visa application, okay? So you need a 6 months bank statement. So if you do not have legal stay in that country, you will be stuck. So this is another challenge that many caregivers that are in Africa are facing, the issue of bank statement. But I'm telling you, it's a new requirement now with British Home Office. They need to see that you have got 1,000, at least 1,000 minimum. And if you want to take your whole family, you need to have at least more than that, okay? They need to know you are able to take care of your husband, your children, okay? For those that wants to departure, because advantage with the UK, you can leave Africa with your husband, your children, same time. Even if you are a single mother, as long as your children are below 18 years, you can relocate with them. Same day you fly out of Africa, that's the same day you can travel with your family. As long as you've got money to buy them flights. I can give you an example. The last visas I posted for you, that was a family of 5. They paid 66,000 rands for them to do visas in South Africa. That's only money for visas at the British consulate, okay? About 66,000 for 5 people. 2 adults, mom and dad, and 3 children. 66,000 rands for British visas, and you need money for flights for your family as well. And you need accommodation for them upon arriving in the UK. So it's not a problem. You can live with your family. That's the advantage with this visa. Even for Ireland, I can confirm that with you. You can live with your family as well, as long as you meet the requirements for the visas. Allow me to have a sip. Okay. So I spoke about the CV. I spoke about the bank statement. I started with the most important things, okay? And then I'm going to your passport. Your passport must be 6 months valid. You should know that. If you want to travel anywhere out of Africa, you need your passport to have, it must be 6 months valid, which means it must not expire within 6 months. It must expire after 6 months from the date you're applying for your visa, okay? It must have 6 blank pages. I once demonstrated to you, not back to back. When I say 6 blank pages, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Single blank pages without a stamp, without a visa, okay? That's a passport that is accepted. If it has got 5 pages, trust me, you will not get a visa to go anywhere. I travel a lot with work. You don't get a visa if you have got less than that pages in your passport, okay? That's number 2 for whatever country, okay? And then you've got your passport. If you are residing in a foreign country, this is where many people do not understand. If you are residing in a foreign country, when I say foreign country, I mean for me, I'm in South Africa. Yes, I do have paperwork to live in South Africa, but I'm a foreigner in South Africa. If you are a Botswana person in Zimbabwe, you are a foreigner. If you are a Nigerian in South Africa, you are a foreigner. I've got a lot of Nigerians also asking me the same question. As long as you're a Nigerian in South Africa, you are a foreigner. Whether you have got a passport with days in South Africa, you can never apply for a visa. No matter how many days, whether you've got 90 days on your passport in South Africa, you cannot apply for a visa for any country out of Africa, okay? I'm talking of America, Canada, Australia, UK, Ireland, you cannot. So the only way you qualify to apply for a permit in South Africa, for a visa, for UK, let's talk about UK. The only way a foreigner can apply for a visa for UK in South Africa is if you have got legal stay in South Africa, which means you have got permanent residence, you have got a South African ID, you have got a South African visa, you have got a South African study visa, you have got a South African work permit, you have got a receipt from VFS with a renewal receipt. But if it's your first visa receipt, it's not gonna work. okay, they will reject you. They will tell you, wait, we will give you a visa when your permit comes out. So they will tell you to go back to your country. Even if you want to apply for a study visa, they will tell you go back to your country and apply for a visa at the consulate there. So the only people that qualify, the only foreigners that qualify to apply for a British visa here in South Africa are all foreigners that have got legal stay in South Africa. If you do not have legal stay in South Africa, you can never apply for a visa to go to UK, to go to America, to go to Australia in South Africa. Okay, so this is where two of my what do I call them? Two of my subscribers or followers from this page were declined, okay, faced many challenges, okay. So I'll tell you. So two of those, I'll speak to the first one. So they were residing, they were residing in South Africa but did not have legal stay in South Africa. They had valid papers like passports in South Africa. They would come to South Africa and do their courses and do their practicals and go out and come back and finish whatever their practicals they were doing, which means they were here in South Africa with valid passport, with stamps, but not a visa, okay. Now they get everything, they got a job. Now it was time to go and submit for a visa. Remember, your agent or a company that employs you can take you because they don't understand issues with the visa. But now when you go to the British consulate, if you are unfortunate like those two people, okay, they went and applied. And when they went to apply, they were, all your paperwork will be there, okay, with your COS and everything. And then they say, but you have been living in South Africa. Why didn't you apply for a visa in South Africa? Remember, you go for an interview and say like, no, because I didn't have a legal stay in South Africa. But why were you doing courses in South Africa? Why didn't you do courses in Zimbabwe? Why were you, your CV says you were, all these references, they are companies in South Africa. How were you doing working in South Africa without a valid work permit? It's in Zimbabwe now, British consulate in Zimbabwe, asking you questions. I would go with my passport and my passport was valid. Like, no, you are not a right person. You're not a good person. And their visas were rejected because of that. Some were lucky, some get their visas in Zimbabwe, no issues, no questions asked. But if you are one of those unfortunate person, your visa will be rejected. And the biggest challenge now is once your visa has been rejected by a consulate like the British consulate, American consulate, you will face challenges forever. Because every time you apply, you must declare that they once rejected your visa. Why did they rejected your visa? I stayed in South Africa illegally. Ryan, I'm still busy. Ryan, I'm still busy. Do you want the keys? You want them? Okay. Just give me a minute. My kid was playing, now he's back. Yeah. Okay. So, like I was saying, I want people that are living in foreign countries, today I'm being broader, that are living in foreign countries to understand you do have that challenge whereby you might be the unfortunate one and you'll be questioned. And once the British consulate, I'm telling you something that is very painful. Once they challenge you or they decline a visa for you, it's a challenge forever. So employers can take you, but the challenge comes when you apply for your visa. Some people are lucky, and to be honest with you, I've noticed that people that are getting visas, most of them, they are people with legal stay, okay? Those without legal stay, it's a huge challenge. I don't know why. And some people, mostly people in for example, in Zimbabwe, they also challenge, they're facing challenges getting a COS and work from Zimbabwe. Why? I don't know. So I just want to encourage you. And for me, what I've noticed, most people in Zimbabwe, their references are Gmail references. And most people that left Zimbabwe for UK, that's an example I'm giving you, that left Zimbabwe for UK, they also had, they paid sponsors, okay? So anyone who didn't have money, you can all testify. People that didn't have money, they're still in Zimbabwe. But the people that had money to pay sponsors, they're in UK. That's the situation in Zimbabwe. Here in South Africa, people that have got work permits, they are living for UK. But the people that do not have work permits, it's a challenge, okay? It's a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? So now, let me tell you also another big challenge. Now, we are moving to Ireland. I'll give you Ireland. Between UK and Ireland, I'll tell you that the Irish people are more stricter compared to the UK government. I'm not discouraging you, but I'm telling you the truth. So the Irish people are more stricter. Right now, as it is, I'm still waiting, as I showed you, proof from the emails. I'm getting requirements. So once I have all the requirements, I'll come back to you. But I'll tell you right now, they are more stricter than the British people. So please, in terms of legal stay and stuff, Ireland is so difficult. Okay, and Ireland has also faced a lot of foreigners who entered their country with all these scams and fraudulent and all that, trying to acquire. Remember, Ireland is still taking people for refugees. So because of that, Ireland is much stricter compared to the UK. So in terms of applying, just know that Ireland is going to be much stricter than UK. I'm not discouraging you, but I'm telling you the truth. Why am I telling you this? I'm giving you this information so that if you can fix your paperwork, okay? If you can fix your paperwork, whether in Botswana, in Zimbabwe, wherever, if you can fix your paperwork in terms of work experience, you can resort that instead of doing your ILETS in South Africa. If you can do it in Zimbabwe, if you can do your TB in Zimbabwe, that will be an advantage for you if you do not have legal stay in South Africa. Instead of using South African, instead of using your passport, you can use your passport, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm one person that I've been to the Irish consulate in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, as a Zimbabwean, it's very difficult for the Irish to give you a visa. Whereas here in South Africa, it's one consulate. You need an agent or someone, I don't know. You need to have your paperwork correctly and genuine. They are just difficult, okay? So I'm telling you this so that you sort your paperwork correctly, okay? You will be asked if you are unfortunate. If you are lucky, things go smoothly, okay? I'm telling you, I know some people that went to UK, but still they had to go to Zimbabwe and apply for their paperwork. Right now, I'm seeing some people struggling, okay? They are struggling with American embassy to get a visa. Why? Their experience for cruise, for waitering, working in restaurants is here in South Africa. But now they are going to apply for visas in Zimbabwe to join cruise ship. They are struggling because you go for an interview, okay? You go for an interview and those interviews, they are not funny. Trust me. American embassy in Zimbabwe is not funny. British embassy in Zimbabwe is not funny, okay? If you are not a person of status. If you are a person of status, if you have got a house, if you have got money in your bank account, if you have got your money, especially money, and your money is genuine, they can see it's genuine, you work for it and all that, it's easier for you. But for us, you've got a bank account in South Africa. You cannot use the bank account in South Africa to apply for visa in Zimbabwe. You will need to open a bank account in Zimbabwe, put US dollars in there, wait for 3 months, okay, so that you can print a bank statement with that amount equivalent. So I'm giving you this information for those without legal stay in South Africa so that you can prepare and start processing, because you need that bank statement with 1,270 pounds. You need it because there is no way you're going to apply for a visa. You can't use a South African bank statement to apply for a visa in Zimbabwe. It does not work. You can't use a Zimbabwean bank statement and apply for a visa in South Africa. It does not work. So you will need, if you do not have legal stay in South Africa, you will need a Zimbabwean bank account with the US dollars, to which you can print out for 6 months. which means you need to open a bank account in Zimbabwe. I know it's tough. I know it's stuff that nobody tells you, but that's the reality of the visa. And this is the deep conversation we have when we do one-on-ones and more, because there is more, okay, depending with your case. So I think I've addressed the issue of bank statements, I've addressed the issue of CV, I've addressed the issue of work experience, I've addressed the issue of your passport, and the issue of your English. You know, you need to do your ILETS, but like I'm telling you, for me, if you do not have legal stay in South Africa, please go do your English in Zimbabwe or in Botswana or in Kenya or in Nigeria, okay? Don't do it here. Why? You don't want to avoid, you don't want to be questioned. Why did you do it in South Africa? Why did you go to South Africa instead of doing it? It's online. You have got no excuse. But they'll tell you it's online. Remember, it's the same British consulate that offers the ILETS. So you cannot lie to them. Why are you doing it in South Africa when you don't have legal stay in South Africa? Okay? Yes, they will tell you here you can do it with a passport. But remember, the people that make you write ILETS are completely different from the people that interview you for visas. And the people that interview me are not the same people that are going to interview you. So if mine works, it doesn't mean yours is going to work. Okay? But if everything is okay, I'm telling you, people that have got legal stay in South Africa, it is smooth. It's no issues, nothing. You just go submit, come out, done, clear. It's easy. But I'm talking about those people that are using a validity on their passports to write the English, to do TB courses here in South Africa, and then go to Zimbabwe to apply. They'll ask you, you can still do your TB course in Zimbabwe. Why did you have to go to South Africa? Where is your bank statement? So things like that, why would you waste money? It's not economical to travel from Zimbabwe to go to South Africa to do ILETS, to travel to Zimbabwe, to South Africa to do TB test. No. It's not ideal. It's not economical. It doesn't make sense. And you want to go and work as a caregiver in South Africa. You are desperate. But here in Africa, you're wasting money. It does not make sense. So think about that, okay? People can never stop you from doing it here. You can still do it here, but think of the consequences, okay? So English, your TB course, make sure when you do your course, you do CPR. In Zimbabwe, they call it first aid course. That's the same CPR. Make sure you do have that. Make sure you also have got a valid COVID certificate, and make sure that you do have your booster, okay? Make sure you do have your booster, okay? Not just a COVID certificate. Now they require you to have a booster because COVID is back and you are going to be working with sick people. You need to have your COVID booster. And for most jobs, there are commodity jobs for caregivers in UK. Make sure that you have got a valid driver's license. And the other thing now, if you take your driver's license now, it can be a disadvantage to you with some agencies because they are double checking. I'm going to be taking your questions. They will double check your when did you get your driver's license, okay? Because remember, when you get to UK, they're going to give you a brand new car or whatever, but nobody wants their car to be crashed. And we had incidents last year, June, July, August, of people crashing lots of cars in UK. They didn't know how to drive, okay? So you must be an experienced driver. Otherwise, you're going to be losing work, or you're going to be working to pay for the damages you would have caused for cars in the UK. You will be driving from one patient to another. That's the majority of the work, bulk of the work that is there. You need to be experienced driver. So it's not just a license. When you get there, you feel the heat. You need to drive. Experience, they require +1 experience. But if you have got more than 1 experience, you are at a very good advantage. You've got a very huge advantage if you've got more than 1 year's experience. Anything less than that, it's a problem, okay? And let me tell you something. How do they know if I'm experienced or not? If you are interviewed by someone that knows this job, trust me, you'll fail the interview if you don't have the experience. They'll catch you just like this. So I'll tell people that the truth will set you free. You rather say the truth instead of lying, because the interview, you will feel the heat. Okay, so those are the requirements that are in need right now for caregivers. I'm already running out of town for caregivers in UK. Okay, I don't know when they are closing. I know everyone is doing the courses, but please don't do the course relying on UK alone. Just be also alert. Tomorrow we'll be talking about Ireland, and it's gonna be a shocker. Okay, from the information that I gathered from the recruiters, I've got a proof of it. It's gonna be a shocker of you. So think twice, analyze your risks before you do any course or before you spend money on anything. You might need money on something. Okay, so right now I'm going to be taking questions. If you have got any questions for me regarding this topic, please feel free to ask me. I will answer you. I see there's a question here. Sisi Jean, what about people that have got refugee permit? Okay, I've addressed this. Please, let me tell you, what is a refugee permit? A refugee permit is a permit that is given to someone that is running away from their country of nationality or their state of nationality for certain reasons, like abuse. You are fearing for your life, and you applied in this country so that for your safety. Okay, so you can't leave. Why do you want to leave? And let me tell you something. If you have got a refugee permit, you can't fly, you can't get a visa. Okay? South Africa is a country that has been appointed by United Nations for refugees, blah, blah, blah. So you don't need to go to UK because you are safe in South Africa. Okay? So in terms of refugee permit, just know that if you have got a refugee permit, you don't apply for visa. Okay, you can't get a visa to go and work in the UK again. Okay, it's another complicated issue, and trust me, you don't get it. I know a lot of people that have tried it. The only way you get a visa to go is if you, it's a long process. You apply through the refugee department, blah, blah, blah. You explain why you need to do this. Or if you have got a passport, a refugee passport, and now they'll catch you, okay? Now they'll catch you, and they'll catch you on your driver's license. They'll catch you. There are so many things that you can be caught out. But I don't know. You can try, but to be honest with you, you don't get a visa with when you've got a refugee permit. Why? The UK is struggling. They are removing refugees from UK, sending them to Rwanda. So what makes you think they'll take you? You're already a refugee in South Africa, and South Africa qualifies to accommodate refugees. So what makes you think the British government will give you a visa when you are already a refugee? They won't take you. They are fed up of refugees. So be assured they won't take you. Okay, I'm not doing Ireland today. Maropeng Siopa, come tomorrow. Maropeng, I'm going to answer you tomorrow, okay, regarding Ireland for South Africa. So Maropeng, I'll answer you tomorrow regarding South Africa. And for South Africans, you've got an added advantage, okay? For South Africans, you've got an added advantage. If you've got a South African passport, you have got an added advantage. There are actually recruiters that take South Africans to go and work as caregivers in UK, in America, in so many European countries. So South Africans, you do have a lot of advantages compared to other African countries. So South Africans, kings, what is kingdom? What is it called? Swaziland or Lesotho. There are certain countries here in Africa that have got good relations that are still in the EU. You do have opportunities to go and work in Europe, in America, because of your European status. So if your country still falls under EU and it doesn't have restrictions, just double check what your requirements are. If you want me to double check for you, you need to pay me my consultation, then I'll do that for you. But So South Africans, there are so many countries you can work without visas, okay? You guys, I'm not worried about you. You are in South Africa because you want, but if you really want to leave South Africa to go and work, guys, you've got so many added advantages compared to people from Zimbabwe who they're out of EU, they're applying now to join EU again, but until then, we are so disadvantaged in some other African countries, okay? Zambia, I think, is back on, so Zambians are also at an advantage. So I think, is it possible to do a test wakaita overstay in South Africa? What test is dear? Vigilant Mananga Zira? I don't know the test you are talking about. What test are you talking about? Yes, Maropeng, Swaziland. Swaziland has got also an advantage. I think in Ireland, you can also go to Ireland, okay? So Swazis, I think you've got an advantage with Ireland coming up as well. Can I do Chilton and do practicals in Zimbabwe? Yes, so Chilton has got an advantage. So the advantage that I know with Chilton is you can do it online. So you do your Chilton online, even in Zimbabwe, and then you do your practicals at a hospital or a reputable institution in Zimbabwe. So Chilton, that's the advantage of Chilton because it's online. So any company, and let me tell you something, Allison is also good because Allison also offers a lot of courses that are needed in Ireland, which is what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. And tomorrow, come braced up. I want you to bring your chest. I want you to bring your chest because tomorrow we're going to be doing Ireland. But yeah, I want you to be strong. All the caregivers that are excited about Ireland, it's a good opportunity. It's a beautiful opportunity, but only for those that are ready and those that are prepared. So I want you to come tomorrow ready, okay? So I'm taking your questions again. If one did practicals, can that be classified as experience as well? So it depends with the institution. For example, the sponsor that was charging people 60,000 rands recently, you would say practicals is not experience, okay? So for some institutions, practicals is not institution, it's part of the course. Okay, but some, when they were desperate, you know, so with let me tell you guys what happens with work. When there is demand of caregivers, they overlook requirements. But right now, the supply is higher. We have got so many carers compared to the work that is available. So because of that, their requirements are becoming more, you know. So when there is demand, they overlook some of the requirements. They will consider practicals as part of experience. But right now, because they've got a lot of people, less work, practicals is not part of what? Of experience. You still need to gain plus 1 year experience, which is not practicals, okay? Yeah, okay. Let me go to the next person. Online course, Inofamba say, so in English is, how does online course works? Google Chilton, they've got a WhatsApp number, they will tell you how it works, okay? Sisi Jean, which organization is most recommended to do the care course in South Africa? I cannot choose for you, but all I can tell you depends on the country that you want to go to. For Ireland, wait for me tomorrow. I'm going to tell you interesting news, okay? But for UK, they were taking any internationally recognized institution, they were considering it, okay? Thank you, Nora Simbane Gavi, for the stars. Yes, guys, you can please send stars to me during live video, or you can send me stars after live video. It's all good. Thank you so much. We are following. Thank you for the kind information and share, especially your time. You are welcome, my sister. Thank you very much. She's one person that I know that is very appreciative. Solomon Magaso, yes, true. I have one of my guys there in South Africa. Born in South Africa, but Ireland turned them back. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Ireland is much stricter than the British consulate, okay? So, guys, tomorrow we'll be talking about Ireland, and I think I've answered all your questions. I've answered all the questions that I'm seeing. I've answered them, okay? Let me just go down for the last time. So, Sijin, I'm a qualified pest control technician. Please assist. So, my brother, you need to book a one-on-one. That's a personalized qualification and, yeah, a very difficult field we need to do. There's a lot that needs to be done for your field. So, all I can tell you is you need to book a one-on-one. I cannot help you on the live. Okay, that's what I say. Some stuff, some careers, I cannot help you now, but yeah, I know where there are opportunities for you. You're doing a great job helping us with information. Thank you. Okay, so guys, like I told you, tomorrow we are doing Island. I hope by tomorrow both departments would have replied me, and I'm looking forward to be having more information. But if they don't reply me, I still have got very interesting information, which I want everyone that is interested, caregivers for Island, to be alert. And I'm so behind. I need to do cruise ships. Guys, cruise ships have got money for young people that are still young, energetic and fit. Cruise ship is the opportunity for you. There is lots of opportunity for you, and there is growth. You can grow, you can make money, you travel the world. There are so many benefits of working for cruise ship. I wish you guys can understand. Please use this opportunity. They are closing around March, April. Use this opportunity and apply for cruise ship. Okay, it's not and the advantage of cruise ship is you just do your 6 weeks or 6 months, you come back home, or 3 months, you come back home. You still travel the world and come back home, and you still make good money. Okay, what time tomorrow? I'm going to post it. Check this video. Check my post this video around 7 when I receive my notification from my estate manager. Then I'll tell you what time do I have load shedding. So 7 p.m. come back on this post. Check the time for the live video for tomorrow. I'll edit on this post. I'll give you the time for the live video for tomorrow. But normally it's between 1 and 6 p.m. depending with load shedding. But I hope 4 to 5 again tomorrow. Ireland kunogarika a very nice. Ireland is a beautiful country. Ireland is much cheaper compared to UK. And Ireland, I'll tell you the opportunities in Ireland again tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be telling you about Ireland. I'll be telling you about the opportunities. I showed you the email from the from Carla from the Ireland immigration, the head of the industry. Okay, where all the regulation comes from. I've got emails from him, and I'm going to communicate with the department, and I'm also going to be calling them tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll call the Irish consulate here in Cape Town. I wish if I can pop through. I'm not so sure, but I know they're difficult with their appointments, and speak to the ambassador. Yes, you can make an appointment to go speak to the ambassador and double check and verify information. That's what I normally do. I don't bring people information. This one said this, Google links and all that. I don't do that. I verify information before I give you information. So tomorrow you can live nicely. You can have Ireland is beautiful, guys. It's much cheaper compared to UK. You can have a beautiful life there. The people, the Irish people, are much nicer and less racist. They are nice people, and yeah, compared to British, in terms of research, they say Irish people are very nice compared to other nationalities. Okay. So if you want to book a one-on-one, you book via my messenger. Okay, they will schedule an appointment with you. After that, that's when you have my number. But until then, yeah, that's the only way you can reach me, or via my subscription page. Everyone on subscription page, we are going to do a live video where we repeat everything and answer all your questions. And I'm going to give you more information on Saturday. We do live videos on Saturday on subscription page. I don't do live videos here, and I'm not giving links, but we've got new resources which I'll be helping you with this year. Kurasisa vavengi that are trying to copycat. Okay, so we are moving from links to new opportunities. Yes, from one level of glory to another. Okay, and if the devil elevates, the Spirit of God goes higher. Okay, so God always open new opportunities. So subscription page, I'm coming on Saturday. Right now, if you have got any question, just go to the video we did on Saturday, write your question there. Subscription page, I quickly get your notifications. I will respond to you. So subscribers, you can send a question on subscription page. I respond to you. The last video we do. So guys, thank you so much. I don't see, it's hard to subscribe. Unfortunately, if your phone is not compatible with Facebook, you can't subscribe. If you're on free mode, you can't subscribe. Yeah, but I just want to encourage everyone to use your bank cards, because if you don't use your bank cards, you keep getting kicked out. When you try to subscribe again, it's difficult. So Facebook, unfortunately, I'm not in charge of subscription page. Facebook is in charge of subscription page. Facebook collects the money. Facebook puts people in the group. Facebook can kick you out of the group for whatever reason. So unfortunately, in terms of subscription page, I'm just a beneficiary, but Facebook is in charge. But thank you so much, guys. I hope this information to everyone with ears you have heard, and you are going to use this. Use your wisdom, use your intelligence. Please don't be fooled. Please don't just follow what everyone is doing. You are the one that is going to suffer. There is a difference having legal stay in South Africa and not having legal stay in South Africa. Don't just follow what everyone is doing. Please take my advice. You won't regret it. Please, please, please. Opportunities are coming. Don't mess your chances. And I told someone that, you know what I'm going to foresee? I'm foreseeing people restarting everything back home. Trust me, if you are not smart where we are going, you're going to restart. You have wasted money here in South Africa, and you're going to go back to your country of nationality and restart doing these courses. So please think. Open your eyes wide. And for those that are single or married but not married legally, please make sure that you get married legally. I'm having a lot of challenges with people that are coming to one-on-one. I feel sorry for them, because many people don't understand the importance of marriage certificate, okay? In terms of relocation, if you are husband and wife and you do not have marriage certificate, it's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. So please, when you think of relocation and you are married, always think of your marriage certificate. Family, I love you very much. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Unfortunately, I can't do more than 1 hour. I have to do a 1 hour video, and then tomorrow I'll do another 1 hour video. So please, tomorrow I want you to bring water. You need water when you're watching this live tomorrow, because tomorrow is gonna be, you need water and a strong heart, okay? Water and a strong heart. That's what you need tomorrow, as we will be talking about Ireland. And I hope it's going to be 4 to 6 p.m. If you miss, I'm also going to ask my PA to upload these videos on YouTube. My introduction yesterday, you need to know how to find me, how to get hold of me. You can find me on when you book an appointment one-on-one, you can find me on subscription page, and you can find me on my live video. Okay, so guys, I'm seeing you tomorrow. Subscribers, send your questions to subscription page. I will respond to you. I love you so much, guys. Bring a strong heart and water tomorrow, as we are doing Ireland. Everyone is talking Ireland. I see some people are sharing links. I just feel sorry. Okay, don't make your email address blocked before it's time, okay? So don't just follow everything that you see in WhatsApp groups. Yes, there are care companies in Ireland, but if you keep sending your CV now, they are going to block your email address. By the time this thing is opened, your email address is already blocked. Be alert, or don't follow everything that you see on social media. Understand, people, that research information, that's the reason for research. That's the reason for verifying information, so that you do the things correct way. There is no shortcut here. We do the correct long way, but many people are relocating with the correct long way. May God bless you. Never forget to pray. Commit your plans to God. Less talking, more praying. Less talking, more praying. Stop telling people your movements. Stop telling people what you are doing. Stop telling people your plans. The devil is a liar. The devil has got ears. He will destroy your plans before you reach them. People are dying upon landing in UK. Bad things are happening, guys. So please, mind your mouth, mind your tongue. 2023, stick to your lane, concentrate on you, do things that improve you and develop you. I love you guys. Remain positive, and let's pray to God. Meditate on the word of God. May God bless you. I love you, and I have to leave you. I love you so much.